Hi Virgo. Finally getting the 2019 readings done. I am aware that it is the middle of February. So January energies are going to be past energies, which will be pretty cool to see if that's what happened with us in January. Now I'm going to do January through June on this reading. If you would like to get the extended, which I did not offer last year, and I was asked by a lot of people, are you going to do the second half of the year? So this year I'm going to offer it, but it will be through purchase only. So if you would like the extended, which will be July through December, you can go to my web, all the links are below. You can go to my website, or you can go to Vimeo and purchase it there. Also on Patreon, all of the extendeds for the year will be on Patreon. So if you become a patron there and you subscribe, which thank you very much for those who have already. There are 3 different options that you can do. You can do the basic option, which is just the extendeds. You can do a twin flame option, or you can do the everything option, where you get the extendeds, the twin flames, the meditations, the extra energy updates, all of that. So let's get started. The way that I do this is I have all of the major arcanas from one deck. I will pick an overlying theme for each month, and then I will clarify with tarot. Okay, so our January already came out. One more shuffle here, and I'll do the rest. Okay, January is death. So there may be a Scorpio involved, or there's some big transformations that are happening. January was a very transformative month. It actually felt like it was an entire year within a month. So we'll see what this death card is. Oh, yes. And then the Tower in February. Something's definitely changing. But it's bringing clarity in March for the Sun, clarity and happiness. The Tower doesn't have to be negative. Remember that. A lot of people think that the Tower is negative. Sometimes it's just a really big shock. It's just a shocker. Okay? It's a lot of change, a lot of transition, a lot of shocking stuff. And we have, for April, we have the Hermit. So feel in yourself in April. In May, we have the Hanged Man. And in June, we have the Hierophant. Now, at the end of this reading, we will go through July through, I'll pull the cards for July through December so you can kind of see what's going to look like on the extended. So let's get right into it. My family, my Virgo family, I hope you guys are having a good year. Looks like it's been a little jarring, a little shocking maybe. So we have death for January. Again, you could be dealing with a Scorpio energy, or it could just be that you are going through a transformation time where you really needed to have something end in your life. Maybe something pretty big ended in your life, especially with the Tower energy in February. But it's bringing you clarity. It's giving you strength. You could also be dealing with a Leo energy. I do feel like it's the end. It's like the end of a karmic cycle for you. It's the end. It was the end of feeling like you weren't yourself. Like I feel like it's really, you were feeling like you weren't yourself, right? So this ending, again, you could be dealing with a Leo. We also have Capricorn here. But whatever this transformation did, it brought you a lot of strength. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. I think it brought you to the realization of where you were leaving yourself out in the cold and where you were not protecting your own interests or your own self, right? And then we have the Devil, and we have the Ace of Cups. So you could be dealing with a Capricorn energy as well, or just a lot of karma. January was a karmic time. Okay, this is driving me crazy, and because it's the Virgo video, I have to fix it. Sorry, I just have to like make sure my camera is not all wonk. Oh, that's worse. That's worse. Okay. Here we go. That's a little bit better. It's just the table just looks like it's off a little bit, I guess, is what's going on here. Sorry. I mean, you guys being Virgos, you understand that I had to do that. I wouldn't have been able to concentrate for the rest of the, I mean, you know, you get it. All right. So I feel like this was a karmic ending of something. Something karmic had to end, but it brought you to a place where you could love yourself, and maybe even somebody else came in to love you as well. But with this Ace of Cups, I feel like it was this acceptance and realization that self-love was the biggest thing that you really needed in your life more than anything. Okay, so let's look at the Strength card. Yeah, High Priestess on the Strength card. So, and it brought you a lot of intuitive guidance as well. Whatever this ending was, or this person that either needed to be removed from your life or was brought into your life. But I also feel like you had a lot of quiet time. So I feel like there was an air sign that made you feel like you weren't good enough. Like there was somebody that just became very cold. It was heartbreaking, right? It feels very, these two cards together feels like somebody pulled back from you and broke you down a little bit. Let's look at the Devil. And remember that energy is fluid, time isn't linear, so a lot of this could be occurring now. It could have occurred in December, could occur later on in the year. Time is man-made, not energy-made, right? So this karmic cycle that had to come to an end for you is bringing you a lot of healing with the Star. It's also, you could be dealing with an Aquarius energy, but I also feel like this is also kind of, it's bringing you to your purpose. Whatever had to end or whatever had to transition in your life is bringing you to your purpose. That's what the Star card is. And it jump-started some self-love. It jump-started some self-healing and self-love within you. It made you realize, I feel like it made you realize a lot of things about what you wanted to do in life, who you truly were. And now, with the Knight of Pentacles, there you are. The Knight of Pentacles represents Virgo because it's mutable earth. Still moves a little slowly. But the Knight of Pentacles takes the much needed steps forward in order to get to where he needs to be. It's in a very methodical and analytical way. I feel like it was almost like this transition made you realize that now I can start planning. Look at that, karma. We talked about karmic, right? I didn't even realize my shirt said karma. I mean, I did, but it just dawned on me. Oh, I love it when the signs happen like that. Now you feel like you can move forward in a way that feels like it's productive, like it'll be abundant for you, right? So February, we have the Tower. Let's see what this Tower energy is. I'm curious because we're in February right now. If you're watching this in February, we're in February right now. I don't feel, I mean, we still have half of it to go, but I feel like this is more of an emotional reset for you. I feel like there were things that needed to fall away. I feel like there were painful realizations that have already occurred for you, but it's all for the betterment of like regaining who you are, right? So we have the Queen of Cups. Again, you could be dealing with a water energy, possibly Scorpio, because the Tower represents Scorpio. Could also be Pisces. This could also be a shakeup in your intuition, and really, because Mercury is in Pisces this month. Pisces is in the second house. I feel, and the reason why I feel like this Tower isn't a bad thing is, so we have the Lovers here with next to the High Priestess. Like I said, sometimes the Tower can be something that's just kind of a shock, right? And I feel like you were just kind of shocked. Like it was almost like there's this realization, this shocking realization of a relationship. Could deal with a Gemini. I'll deal with a Gemini also. But we have the Eight of Pentacles here. I feel like your world is changing. So I want you to trust your gut feelings in February. I want you to trust your intuition, because I feel like the things around you are changing so rapidly, or it's like this buildup this really fast-paced buildup of things changing so rapidly. Sometimes that can cause an earthquake, right? What is mutable earth? It's an earth shatter. It's an earthquake. And that almost makes me feel like what this tower is, but it's a reset. It's like the reset button where you needed to have these things kind of happen in your life around you in order for you to get back to good, in order for you to gain some clarity, gain some self-love, and really be able to believe and trust in yourself. That's what I feel like this tower energy is. It's like bringing you back full circle to where you were supposed to be, and you had to end a cycle to get there. Let's see what this Queen of Cups is. Ooh, okay. So this could very well be you getting really emotional over a fire sign. So we have the King of Wands with the Queen of Cups. So it could be somebody who has heavy water and fire in their chart. But I also feel like if you're super emotional in February, or you're feeling the emotions flowing, Mercury in Pisces is going to kind of like push that forward, like that. It's going to amplify that feeling of that emotional, you know, feeling inside of you. The High Priestess, let's see what the High Priestess is. I think trusting your intuition. Ah, yes. You know that things are much more stable than they seem. Like I said, I feel like this is stuff that's going on around you. I feel like the tower, the shocking things that are going on around you, there's just a lot of changes happening right now. But I want you to trust that everything is okay. With the Ten of Pentacles, you've been working really, really hard for the the last 6 months, 9 months, a year, more than that. But even in a physical way, it's like when Virgos don't want to deal with the emotions, they get really, really focused on work, right? So I feel like you've been working really, really hard and trying to bring a lot of things into fruition. And now it's like, when am I going to be able to see this? When am I going to see all of this happening? I want you to trust that you're being taken care of. I want you to trust that this Ten of Pentacles is going to be brought to you. Like, the universe is taking care of you right now. And I feel like that might be a sign for somebody that could possibly be going through some hardships, like material hardships. I feel like with this Ten of Pentacles and this Eight of Pentacles over here is to just keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing forward. You're being very well taken care of. There might be some conflicts with a Gemini, or with the Five of Wands, you might have some internal battling about, I don't feel like this is external. Could be external. If you know, this could represent that maybe you and your significant other, fire sign possibly, are arguing. But I feel like with the Five of Wands on the Lovers, there's this need. What is this need? To know that things are a lot more balanced than they may seem. I feel like this Five of Wands is very internal. Kind of feel like you're fighting with yourself on, do I want to have a relationship? What is my relationship going to look like? Where am I going from here in relationships? I just got out of something. This kind of like internal thing that Virgos do, where they fight with themselves, like literally will have an argument with themselves. You would think that they were Geminis when they do stuff like that. I mean, and maybe that's the case. Maybe with this Mercury in Pisces and your dear friend Gemini here. Now remember, at the end of February is the shadow of the Mercury retrograde, and then in March we go into the retrograde, which is very interesting that we have the sun during the retrograde period. So we'll see what that's all about. But I feel like this is an internal battle for Virgos on what the relationship is, what do they want to do, where do they want to go with it. If it's not with another person, do they need to release somebody in their life? If they already have a person, is it going the way they thought? I mean, like, all of those what, when, where, how, why questions Virgos will analyze when it comes to anything, especially relationships. I want you to really focus on business right now, too, because, ooh, we've got the Death card again. Again, things are transitioning in business. This is evolution. The Tower is evolution. The Death card is evolution. You guys have been evolving so much. And as you're evolving and as you're recognizing this evolution process that you're going through, allow yourselves to gain freedom from it, to gain, not like battling yourself constantly, right? But this lovers with the 5 of Wands could also be, am I in alignment with my own divine masculine and divine feminine? Are the two balanced within me? Or do I need to do work to become balanced within myself, right? So allow yourself to ask these questions in February. Don't shy away from those hard questions, but don't beat yourself up either, because I do feel like there are a lot of changes and transitions happening for you. It's bringing you into a much better time of happiness and prosperity and abundance and love for self, love for others. Very interesting that we have the sun during the retrograde period. So again, you could be dealing with a Leo energy, but I feel like this is overall happiness. I feel like you're seeing the fruits of your labor. I feel like in March, you're kind of recognizing this huge shift, this huge change that you've been through, and you're at peace with it. You're at ease. You're coming out of a very difficult time in your life that we've been going through for a while. And as Chiron moves out of Pisces, which happens on February 18th, I forgot to mention that, there might be a little bit of a jolt when it comes to relationships. Like, I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I do feel like there's going to be a more balanced approach to everything. And maybe some more shocking events along the way, but it leads you, I feel like this, we got the Tower again in March, which makes a lot of sense now. I feel like this is Mercury retrograde. I feel like this Mercury retrograde, because you're going to want to like do a lot of things and get pushed forward. Uranus is moving into Taurus. Chiron is moving into Aries. You're feeling a lot more freedom when it comes to things, except Mercury is now in retrograde in Pisces, in a big detriment there. Okay. I want you, in order to keep your prosperity, keep your happiness, keep your peace about you, remember to stay balanced. We have the 6 of Swords and the Justice card here for March. It's 1:11 on the clock, like my actual time in the afternoon. I just noticed that. I've been seeing a lot of synchronicities lately. 111, 222, 444, 333, 555, and 5s represent change, and that's been like all over the place. I want you to remain really balanced during March, or try to keep yourself balanced as much as possible, because I do feel like things are still changing. Some of you might even be considering moving or traveling, but there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of fast movement, and when there's a lot of fast movement and a lot of communication during a retrograde period, there's bound to be some miscommunication, some misdirection, some missed opportunities, stuff like that, okay? So, yeah, so 9 of Swords on the 6 of Swords. This is what I mean. If you don't remain balanced, you will bring yourself into a state of anxiety. If there's a lot of miscommunication that happens during the retrograde time, you can bring yourself into a lot of anxiety. I want you to, instead of going to this 9 of Swords state, go back to the 6 of Swords, bring yourself back into a state of peace, do a lot of meditation. Instead of being in the 9 of Swords, be in the 4 of Swords. Excuse me. Do a lot of deep breathing. Breathe out the negative energy. Breathe out that stale energy that you hold in your lungs. You know, we've talked about this before. Breathe out the stale energy that you hold in your lungs when you stop breathing, when you hold your breath during the day, right? Make sure that you're breathing very, very deeply. Some of you might be getting divorced, and that is the Tower energy. Some of you might be getting divorced, or some kind of legal situation is happening. But you have to remember that it's all for the benefit of where you're going and what your purpose is. Okay. So if something, okay, well, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. The 8 of Pentacles, maybe you are dealing with legal situations that are causing you to work a little bit harder, But I feel like in order for you to remain balanced also is to just focus on work as much as you possibly can. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. I feel like you want to move ahead in some way. I feel like you want to move forward in some way. And I also feel like there could possibly be either a soulmate in your life or somebody from your past that's creating havoc for you. In order for you to remain balanced, you have to allow yourself to not engage with anything that's not serving your energy in a good way. It could be that this soulmate energy kind of shocks you in a way, in a good way. And because I feel like March is about overall happiness. And I feel like it's about overall clarity. I think March is bringing you to a place of understanding, but a Virgo can get very anxious when things start happening and shaking their world up. And it looks like things have been shook up for a couple of months here. You know? Don't be afraid of the Tower. I had to tell Taurus the same thing. Don't be afraid of, because Taurus got the Tower like every single month too. It's just all the stuff that's happening. Uranus moving into Taurus, all the stuff that's in Capricorn. When Earth energy gets shook, right? It's very difficult to stay aligned when Earth energy is shook. We have the Eight of Wands. See, yeah, see, I feel like you're either communicating with a Leo energy, headed towards a Leo energy, or you are actually like moving things forward because you're starting to find this inner strength. So towards the end of March, there's more of this inner strength that you're building within in order for you to like gain clarity and feel like you're in a better state of mind, right? This Tower energy, it's so funny because I don't feel like it's bad. And I want to keep saying that to you because I feel like people are going to comment on this and be like, oh God, the Tower. Oh God, the Tower. I don't feel like it's a bad energy. I feel like things are just like you've had so much of the bad that when things start moving forward again and things start moving in a really quick way, it's almost like you're thinking, oh God, now things are going to like erupt, right? They're going to explode. April with the Hermit, I feel like you guys are feeling yourselves in April. I think that there's a lot of really good stuff that you have been through, a lot of changes, a lot of transitions that you've been through the first half of the year, or the first quarter of the year, I should say. And now you're kind of in your element and you're feeling yourself. If you need to take a break, if you need to pull back from people, I would have actually suggested that in March, but there may be reasons for you to pull back in April. Could be a Taurus, right? We also have the Seven of Swords. Don't feel guilty. If there's a Taurus that's in your life that's making you feel kind of guilty, or they've done something to feel guilty about, it could be that that person showed up in March and then in April you're having to deal with it. I almost want to say that you're keeping to yourself. I don't want to say ghost the person, but I also want to say like don't let them mess with your energy if it's in that kind of situation. Because I think that there's a person that shows up that changes things, right? The Wheel of Fortune, and it confuses you. The Seven of Cups. I feel like you come into, you've been in such a good place. I feel like you're coming into such a good place. I don't, whether it's a Taurus or whether it's somebody else, don't feel guilty about having to take some time out. Don't feel guilty that you, like, I don't want you to think that you have to live up to society standards or what other people, like the collective, wants you to do. I don't want you to feel like you have to be a certain way, act a certain way, push yourself to be a certain way in some way, shape, or form, right? I don't want you to feel guilty about pulling away. I think that you can kind of feel that there's this energy shift that's happening and you're not entirely sure what it is, but you know that it's coming. Yeah, this Hierophant energy, when it came out, it felt kind of dark. It feels very karmic. So the devil, this could be a Capricorn. It could be a Capricorn that you're married to. This could also just be something that's very toxic, or maybe you're living up to society standards and you no longer want to do that. You want to be your own person. And so you have to release a lot of the toxic energy that was kind of keeping you stuck. Let's see what the Seven of Swords is. I feel like this is somebody kind of, yeah. It's like somebody came back from your past in March and then brought a whole bag of what ifs back into your life and like kind of confused the hell out of you. I almost want to say that if this person is showing up in the same way that they used to show up and they're not offering anything more than what they used to offer. So I feel like with the Seven of Swords, they're not offering much. And with the Five of Pentacles, don't feel guilty about having to leave somebody else out in the cold who previously made you feel like you weren't good enough. I feel like you are removing yourself from the situation, whether it's something that already happened or it is happening. I feel like you're removing yourself from this situation and you're not going to allow it because you want something different in your life. You want this Wheel of Fortune to come into your life and bring you something happier, something bigger, something better, something more. Right? This is what you've been working towards, and you don't want to fall back into whatever this devil energy is, whatever that Hierophant devil energy is, whether it's like going back into society standards, whatever it was, it made you feel like you weren't good enough, and it makes you feel guilty for being who you truly are, whatever that is. Okay? So with this Wheel of Fortune and this Ten of Wands, you're coming to the end of a cycle and starting a new one where the energy is going to be much bigger. And you've been working very, very hard. It's been a long journey. And I don't want you to count yourself out during this long journey, okay? So Seven of Cups. Let's see what the Seven of Cups is. Two of Pentacles on the Seven of Cups. So I feel like you're being presented some choices in April. I feel like you're being presented some choices, and I feel like the options that you have in front of you, it's like you can take one road that's going to be a lot more difficult, but it's going to be so much better in the end, right? Or you can take another road that you've already seen and it didn't make you feel very good. But you're like, well, if this person's coming back or if this thing is coming back to me, maybe it's meant to be. And I almost want to say you need to really get quiet. I think it's time for you to go inward to make these decisions because I don't want you to vacillate on it for too long. I feel like it kind of makes you stuck. I feel like you get stuck because in May, we have the Hanged Man. And when a Virgo's in the Hanged Man position, they get the Two of Pentacles. They get the Nine of Swords. They get the Eight of Swords. Like this is not a fun place to be in. So you're being presented with these options and these choices in your life. And I feel like one of them is not so good for you, but it came back from it's like a past option that you need to close the door on. But if you're like, but it came, I feel like you're going, but it came back. So maybe it's meant to be. Trust that the forward motion is meant to be, not the past. Unless it came back presenting you with a different opportunity, big deal, right? Unless it came back presenting you with a different opportunity. Sorry, I felt like I should just put this over here. I'm really sorry. Whenever I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I can tell when a certain person texts me, whether it's my kids or just somebody from my family or something like that. And so that's why I touched my screen. So I apologize for doing that. It's habit. Like my intuition pulls me that direction anyway. And I know who it is now and it's fine. May, we have the Hanged Man. So all of these options being presented to you kind of got you stuck, but you have all the power here. And I want you to recognize that with the Knight of Cups and the Magician. I feel like somebody is offering you, if it's not somebody from your past, then it's somebody new. And I feel like it kind of came out of the blue. It was something you manifested, though. It was something that you wanted. And I don't know if you recognize that you wanted it so much. So we have the Magician, and then we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Nine of Wands. I feel like you actually fought for this. And it could be a water sign offering it to you, or it could just be anybody. It could be a Gemini, it could be a Sagittarius, it could be a Pisces. Sorry, my nose is now itching. But I feel like whatever this offer was, again, it could also be a Taurus or a Capricorn. We had that in the last one. I feel like whatever this offer was, you don't need to get your panties all up in a bunch that it was offered to you. I feel like it can be a lot easier if you allow the energy to work for you and not against you. Now, let's see. Knight of Cups. Queen of Swords. So there's an air sign. Could be a Gemini. This could also represent you wanting to offer somebody something. I often see the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords as the Virgo because we are ruled by Mercury. This is definitely something that you've wanted to manifest and you wanted to make happen. Now, what makes me curious is, let's see what this Magician is. Because I feel like the only way for you to get unstuck is to, yes, change, change, change. The only way for you to get unstuck right now is to let the transformation happen. You manifested, you made it happen. Like whatever is going on right now, it's actually bringing you into a really good state of mind. It's bringing you into a good place, but you're feeling kind of stuck in May. You fought for this. You really wanted this to happen. This is allowing you to transform, to evolve, to move forward in your life. The thing is you're not looking at it that way. You're looking at it like, oh my God, now what have I got myself into? I manifested this, but did I really want it? Yes, yes. You're not looking at it in the positive way. And it could be a water sign. Again, like I said, a water sign offering. I feel like you're being a little bit too discerning. Because with the Six of Swords, or the King of Cups on the Six of Swords, again, this could be a Scorpio energy. The Scorpio energy is kind of following you through this reading with the Tower and the Death card. But if this is, or it could be a Cancer, could be a Pisces, doesn't have to be a Scorpio, but a lot of water energy is surrounding you here. Now, the thing is I feel like this person is actually bringing you to a place of peace in your mind with this Six of Swords. Whatever it was that you manifested with this, whatever you're doing to transform your life and evolve your life in some way, you're thinking about it too much. You've got to get out of your head and feel the emotions instead. You've got to get out of yourself and feel the emotions instead, because you manifested all of this abundance and all of this wonderful, you fought for it. So you need to enjoy it. And I feel like you're like, oh my God, now I'm just kind of in this place. Yeah, do I keep fighting for it? Do I keep fighting for it? Again, the Two of Pentacles, what did I say? When a Virgo's in the Two of Pentacles, they get into a hangman state, right? I feel like you're not up in your head so much. I mean, you are in your head, but it's just because you're being too discerning. I want you to feel the emotions instead of be so logical. Right? Feel it instead of whatever. Feel it instead of thinking too much. And then we have the Hierophant for June. So you could be in a relationship that's going to the next level. Or it could be that there is something very, very karmic about the way you are being presented with things in life, the way, like, the Hierophant represents the institution. It represents the government. It represents higher learning. It's the institution of marriage. It's the status quo. It's also about leveling up your relationship, getting, you know, doing something in your relationship that's much more committed, right? It's about commitment. And then we have the Hermit. It could also be a Taurus in your life. But go inward. Again, go inward. If you feel a little confused about the path that you're going, because I feel like you're the one that's tangling the web here. I feel like you're the one that is making things a little bit more difficult than they need to be. And I'm not throwing shade at you. I'm just saying, like, that can happen with Virgos when they think too much. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the King of Swords. Again, the King of Swords, a lot of times Virgos come out as the swords people because we do a lot of thinking and we are ruled by Mercury. This could also be another air sign. But I think that the offer that's being presented to you in May, and it's rolling over into June, is very stable and very big. Again, there's something that you're missing because you are blindfolded with this decision that you need to make, the Two of Swords. This is when you go inward, right? You become the Hermit. You go to the top of the mountain to get the information from source. That's what the Hermit does. That's how he goes inward. He only has a small light. Yes, when you are confused, go inward. Allow yourself to feel through it and think through it. There can be a really good balance of heart and mind here if you allow it. If you allow for that to happen, there can be a really good balance of heart and mind. So then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes. See, I don't feel like you need to be confused. I feel like this tangled web of all these options that are going on here, the Six of Wands on the Ace of Pentacles, how much more, how much better can you get than that, right? This is victory. This is marriage. This is rising above. This is being recognized, being in the public eye, doing what you do best, and feeling really good about it. That's what all of that Six of Wands entails. You just have to trust in the process and know that all of these options are actually good things, right? I feel like there's just a change in the way in your belief systems, and that might be where the confusing things are. So if you have an air sign that's moving kind of slowly, or if you're moving kind of slowly, Knight of Pentacles, this may be confusing for the other person. It could also be a Taurus that's moving very slowly with the Hierophant here. If you're moving really slowly, this could be confusing for all the other people in your life, particularly the water sign or the air sign or another earth sign maybe, or the fire sign. We've got them all, okay? So the slow movement, you understand, you get it. And I understand it too. I understand the slow movement that you want to have. But some people in your life, I feel like, want you to speed up a little bit more. And in June, I think that if you speed up a little bit more, it'll be okay. I think what you're afraid of is the unknown. If you just take the blindfold off, you'll realize that you don't have to have those swords up. You realize you don't have to have that. I feel like there's this blockage here because you think that you need to be in this stagnant state of mind so that you don't make the wrong decision, right? With these Two of Swords, the Seven of Wands on the Two of Swords. If you have healthy boundaries, that's fine. If you are blocking everybody out of your life out of fear of the unknown, that's not okay. So let yourself go inward. Instead of being really, really discerning, I want you to actually get in touch with you. I feel like a lot of the first half of the year is about getting in touch with what Virgo wants instead of doing for everybody else. Instead of thinking that if we do for everyone else, then everything will just fall into place, right? Okay, let's see what July through December looks like for us. And again, if you want to get the extended, in the description box below this video, you can go to my website and order it there, or you can go to Vimeo There is an option to get the entire playlist. If you would like to get the entire playlist, you'll get all 12 signs for the extended when I finish them, of course. I'm hoping to get them finished this week or the beginning of next week, but it'll definitely be before the end of February. I just had so much going on already at the beginning of the year, and I was really sick at the end of last year. So anyways, if you would like to get the extended, all of that information is below. So in July, we have the High Priestess. August is the World, coming into your birthday time. The Star, having all of your wishes coming true in September. October is the Lovers. November is the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, the second half of the year looks good. Looks so good. And December is the Emperor. Feeling really, really good about yourself by the end of the year. The second half of the year is so awesome. It looks like, it's almost like nothing can stop you. After all of this from the first half of the year, it's like nothing can stop Virgo. Everything is falling into place. Relationships, everything you've ever wanted in your life coming true, beginning new cycles, really being in touch with your emotions and how you feel about things, changes in perspective. I love it. This is great. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for your patience with this, and I'll see you later. Bye.